Today I'm going to show you guys how to make your track more powerful. We're going to go from this to this. Alright, so this tutorial is going to start at a very basic level. All the things in the beginning should be very easy to follow. And these are the basics, and I think you should get these things right before you move on to the more complicated things, because when you don't do these things, they might bite you in the ass later on when you're mastering. Without further ado, let's get right into the sidechain. In order to create a sidechain, what we're going to do, we're going to go to insert one on your mixer track and call it sidechain. We can then dock to the left like that, and it will show up next to your master track. Obviously, we route the sidechain into the master, and we decide what do we want to route into the sidechain itself. I've here routed the bass line, the vocal loop, the alarm, the main vocal, and I'm leaving the kick, the clap, the hat all to go straight to the master because I don't want to sidechain those things. And then the hat loop, so the kind of groovy hat loop, I also decide to put it to the sidechain. And the open hi-hat can stay out. And when we enable the sidechain, it's going to sound like this. You can immediately hear that there's now more room for us to go ahead and boost this kick and clap. The next thing you want to look at is removing unwanted frequencies. Sometimes you don't even hear these. Sometimes they can be part of a sample and they could be interfering with your overall mix. This is a very basic thing, but if you forget to do this, basically when you go ahead and compress in your master, you're going to realize that you're actually bringing up frequencies that you never wanted to be there in the first place. For example, in this vocal loop. Sounds great to my ears, but then when we take a look at the EQ, we have some frequencies in the sub and the bass. Now, that's okay at the moment. But again, as I said, once we start to compress that, compressing basically means everything in the low end goes up, everything in the high end goes down, squishing it together. But we don't want to squish what we don't want. Let's just get rid of it so we have more space to put there the sub and the bass that we do want there. What we're going to do is we're going to listen to this vocal on solo and start to cut the low end frequencies away until we're happy. You see, it's not making a difference to the sound. And now it's starting to impact the vocals, so we're just gonna leave it right there. And that's that. We can do the same to this alarm effect here. We're just leaving it so it's only the higher end. Now let's take a look at the actual bass line. It sounds quite nice in the mid end, but when we actually look at a parametric EQ, we see there's sub going on there. It's just not that prevalent. And I think what would be nice is to actually cut away the sub from this, add some effects to make it more punchy in the mid end, and then add a sub separately at the end. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut the frequencies of the sub. So we're left with the bass. And then we're gonna add our own sub using Serum. You can download a sub preset, or you can literally just make a sine wave. And then we're gonna route that into the sidechain as well and see we're only giving the sub. And then to make sure that's in mono, we're going to open Ozone, which is a free plugin in the description down below. And as you can see it's completely in mono. Once we've removed all the frequencies that we don't like, the next thing we can do is analyzing our spectrum. We are lacking some 16K hertz. We are lacking some mids at around 400 hertz. We've got nice punchy sub, and we've got very clear high end. So really, let's try to do something to add to that mids. Right here, as you can see, there's a parametric EQ on the bass line, boosting the mids at around 400, like we said. And then we're also adding an OTT with 0% depth and just a bunch of threshold in the mid band, a little bit in the low band. We've also added an extra bass line, which is reaching between the 100 hertz and the 1400 hertz. And then just distorting that to make it a bit more crunchy. So altogether the bass lines now sound like this. Now let's take a look at our span. Now we could go ahead and boost that more. happier. I think at this moment we're starting to realize that's just the quality of this song. So let's leave it at that. The next thing we can do is compression. So say you've come to the stage where you realize that you're happy with the song, you've layered it out, and you want to go ahead and compress. We're going to go ahead and use Maximus, and just for ease of access, we're going to create a little loop here. I'm going to be playing this loop on repeat. Now the first thing you can see is Maximus actually creates a brick wall, so nothing reaches above 0 decibels. In fact, I've here reduced the ceiling by 0.1 decibel, so that actually we're not even reaching 0 decibels. We're slightly under. And as you can see, we're just compressing the low end, mid end, and high end. And right here, you can actually isolate the frequencies so you can hear where you want to separate them. So you want to go ahead and find your low, your mid, and your highs. Right here also we could just, for the sub, we can completely merge the stereo. And for the mids we can boost the stereo a little bit. For the highs you're going to boost the stereo a lot. Also, let's make sure we are on linear phase mode for this exact reason.
If you have a loud mix and you're trying to do multiband compression, use linear phase mode. Otherwise, you'll ruin the phase relationships that you've crafted through all the previous stages of mixing, and you just have to recompress them and you'll squash everything.
And to see what effect we're having, we can actually open Julian Loudenspier, which will also be in the description down below. So without the Maximus, we are hitting... We're at minus 8.3. With the Maximus, we're hitting minus 7.3, minus 7.2. So you could just completely hear that we've just glued together the track, basically. And there you have it, folks. That is probably the easiest way you can make your song louder and more powerful. If you want to see more of this, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, I hope that your track is now more powerful. And I want you to send your links in the comment section below. I'd love to check out your music. Take care.